there. Huge block.
I'll have a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express. Award-winning Coles Urban coffee culture from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
Introducing the new Hyundai Kona, the ultimate expression of innovation. It takes the guesswork out of driving, boasts styling features designed to stand out, and puts a world of technology within reach. In other words, it's seriously fun.
NBL 1 and Ballarat Basketball wish to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land in which this match will be played, the Wadawurrung people. We pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. Welcome back to Selkirk Stadium for the second half of our NBL 1 South doubleheader between the Keilor Thunder and the Ballarat Miners at the back end of the Indigenous round here for NBL 1 South. My name's Jared Prosser. I'm here with Greg Glidden. Greg, an important match here for both sides. Keilor, sitting down towards the foot of the table, but a really impressive win over Eltham last week. For Ballarat, though, look, I'm going to get on my soapbox here if you'll allow me.
Please do, Jared.
Ballarat, a team that was sitting second a month ago, on a bit of a bad run, and going to a good Knox, play against a good Knox side that is missing Ruben Tarangi, Dengakuth, and Kwani, and they got blown, playing nobody bigger than 6'5", and got blown out by 20, and it wasn't that close. It was possibly the most deplorable and frankly lazy and gutless effort I've seen, not just from a Ballarat side, but from an NBL 1 side in the 4 years that NBL 1 has been around. It was deplorable. Now Ballarat back here against a struggling Keilor side on their home court, but the shoe is on the other foot. They're missing Will Hines, the impressive young point guard who's out with an ankle sprain, and they're missing the Swiss Army knife that is Nick Pozoglu, who is out at Nick Kay's wedding over in WA. And Nick, if you're listening, I beg you to make me your +1. You didn't do it. I'm going to hold it against you forever. But without Pozoglu, without Hines, Ballarat really need to make a statement here tonight.
Let's have a look at how they will start then. Obviously, Hines started last week, and Pozoglu's and all of them. So we've got David Chris coming back onto the starting five. The one that I want to see, actually, Paul, and Zach Dunmore's actually in the starting five tonight. So that'll be fascinating to see how that goes.
He's earned this, Zach Dunmore. He's had a very, very good season.
So my issue that I've had with the Miners in the past few weeks, I probably won't go quite as hard as you did just there, Jared, but I think our big men, not ours, so to say, I think the Miners' big men are letting them down a little bit. Of course, we saw Deng Gak, 7 minutes, 5 fouls, 0 points 2 weeks ago against Ringwood. Last week it was 9 points. When he had a huge size advantage over everyone. The Miners need a big game from Deng Gak tonight. I'm loving what JD Miller brings. Preston at number 1 here. He's actually the one that we need to look at as well. So Keilor get the first possession of the game.
So Keilor kicking it off with Tyler Kidd, Kean Dennis, the star man, Jacob Lampkin. They've got Matt Spencer over in the corner, and Shakuk Riak, who the last time he played in Ballarat, Greg, was in 2019 as a Albury Wodonga Bandit, and he lit up the Miners. 6'3", 7'3", something like that. He had well over 30 points. He's he's 30 now. It feels like I was surprised when I saw that he was 30. He doesn't feel like he's been around that long, but he's an outstanding player and just an ace shooter. As we see Miller line up, Lincoln kick it out. Moongay has to dance as the shot clock winds down to 2. The fadeaway is no good, and it's Spencer the other way.
It's important the Miners here get off to a pretty solid start. That could have been a goaltender there. I've seen that playing against Preston in the past. So I think the Miners are important. Now, David Crisp is back into the starting lineup here. He's missed that shot there, but good to see him back in there. Hopefully he's back from that hamstring strain he picked up 3 or 4 weeks ago, and he hasn't got any protection on the legs tonight, so that's hopefully he's back to full strength.
So Kean Dennis opens the scoring. We mentioned it in the women's game that there was a few times where defenders on the fast break were so worried about the pass they'd forget about the ball handler. We just saw it there. Kean Dennis, 3-on-2. No one came to him as Dunmore can't answer at the other end for the Miners. Here is Dennis on the ball now. Still only 21, Kean Dennis. Here's Ria. There we go.
As soon as that left the hand, that was going in.
He's a sweet shooter. Cook Riak, first 3 of the night. It will not be his last, I'll guarantee that. Dengak aggressively steps into the 2. That's a good sign, even if the shot missed. Didn't hesitate to put that up. This is the marquee match up there. Jacob Lampkin and JD Miller. Tyler Kidd, David Crisp, the two diminutive left-handed number 9s. Dennis, no good there. Kidd, sorry, no good there. Oh, Ringo threw that one away. Riak at the other end, shoots the 3 over.
Oh my
over
goodness me.
Dengak.
Oh.
Oh, and there we go. I forgot about that. He's got the Archer celebration. I'd completely forgotten about that.
It's the
He's
Xavier
pulled it out already.
He's pulled it out in the third minute of the game.
No, he loves it. We'll see the Archer a few times tonight, I think.
Right, so the Miners now need to score now. They just need to get themselves into the game.
8-zip.
A little bit of, yes, I like what
Good
Gak does
move
there.
by
That's
Gak.
a very good move by Gak.
Aggressive move, held up well by Riak, but didn't back away. Kept the move alive. So Keilor 8-2, early stages here. 17th on the NBL 1 South table, the Thunder. Only 3 wins on the season.
Is that surprising to you, Jared, that they've only won the 3 games this season? They seem to have enough talent out there on the court.
I wouldn't have thought they'd be much more than mid-table at full strength as Miller, blows the bunny. Unbelievable. How did he miss that? Eventually goes to the line. I dare say that will be on Riak, but gee, Miller's making it hard on himself. No, look, I think Keilor, talent-wise, are a good, strong mid-table side, but I wouldn't say they'd be a finals contender in their first season
They're
at
not
this level.
They're not 3 and 13, though, are they? Are you
no.
getting 3 from 13?
No,
it just doesn't.
Yeah, that surprises me.
Last week, I mean, they were very impressive. It was an even game throughout, but they held firm in the stretch when it really mattered. So, we saw in the women's game the free throws were a problem for the Miners. Miller's missed the first one there. Let's hope for the Miners' sake he can nail this one early in the game to get a little bit of confidence for the team.
Yeah, that looks. Oh, jeez. It did not want to go in that one.
Miss.
So Kidd here, Crisp facing him. A good trap there from Miller. In the end, it's frankly not a great pass from Matt Spencer there. Lampkin had got good position on Miller, who was scrambling to come back from the trap, but fairly poor pass there from Spencer. A cheap turnover. Ballarat a chance to bring this closer again. Miller likes that spot.
That's good.
Little skip down the court from JD Miller.
He's a showman, the big Texan, when he wants to be, when he gets on. Get the crowd involved early.
He and Riak, this could really be something. Two guys who are rather flamboyant when they're on. Dennis finds Riak.
Here he is again.
Three for 3. There's the arrow. There's the arrow. Oh, I'd forgotten about that arrow until he pulled it out after that second 3, Greg. I love the celebration from that man.
I thought Miller was...
Yeah. Here's Bungay. Despite the grey hair, still just 27 years old. Bungay for 3. That's long. He's not a great outside shooter, Bungay. He's got a lot of strengths to his game, but the outside shot isn't one of them, as we saw there. Kidd all the way to the bucket. He was never looking to shoot that.
Give it to the hot hand. Why not?
And Dengak gets back to him this time, but Lampkin wide open at the top. Can't hit it. 6-11. Ballarat with the ball, but trailing.
What happened there?
Crisp draws that one out of Kidd. Just an aggressive drive. One of those, I'm going to go in, I'm going to create contact, I'm going to put a bit of pressure on the defense and, frankly, the officials.
Got the desired result, though.
So 5 minutes to play in the first quarter here. Here's Gak. Good hands from Spencer. It's almost thrown away by Dengak. Shot clock down to 8. Crisp wants the screen. There's Dengak all the way to the hoop. Can't finish, but there's one of the strengths of Bungay. Very good offensive rebound. A quick jumper. Little touch back in for 2. After that early explosion from Keilor, Greg, Ballarat have brought this back to a 3-point game.
It's quite flown the first quarter. I must say we're already into the last 4 minutes pretty much. So good defensive play there by the Miners.
Yeah, it's good work by Tyler Kidd to get that pass off, but Lampkin wasn't ready. Miller was about to pull up from a long way out. Here's Crisp, drives hard at Spencer, gets the call.
The Miners are seeing more from Crisp in the first 4 minutes than I think we've seen in the past month. Obviously, he's been struggling with a hamstring strain, but I think the Miners are getting a little bit more. Cohen Sapwell's coming into the game now. I don't mind him starting on the bench. I think the idea that Sapwell can get a bit of a look and see how the game is flowing and doesn't have the pressure to hit the first couple of buckets, I think.
Look, he has been out of touch too. Maybe this will just reset him a little bit.
Yeah,
but
I'm okay with him coming in when the real heat's first couple of minutes heats off the game.
So
he doesn't have to feel like he has to do everything all the time.
Saw the sub for Ballarat. Reece Lewis has also checked in. We're in the number 11 for Keilor as we have a tied game at 11 all. Kidd shoots. That's long. Well done, Lampkin. Does react again. I think Miller tipped that in.
That was an own goal. It might be a full moon tonight for what we've seen actually in the last first.
Yeah, there's been a lot of weirdness.
A lot of strange things tonight. That was a travel, yes.
There we go. We even saw, that's an unusual one. Go out tonight and there's werewolves around. This has been full of odd little occurrences. This game and a quarter so far. Thunder with the ball. Good pass. Well done, Lampkin. Good spin, good up fake. Got defenders in the air and just lent in. Knew he'd get that call. Well done, Jacob Lampkin.
Class.
A man from Anchorage, Alaska. Very, very pretty part of the world. It's around those parts that inspired the late, great Bob Ross, if we can diverge into the world of 1980s local television, as Brungay goes up for two.
Beautiful. That's going to get the crowd up and running.
That's a gorgeous alley-oop. Crisp to Bungay.
The Miners haven't seen a lot of that in the last few weeks.
No, and Ballarat is a big and athletic team. It's even without Nick Pozzoglu, who is just a beast of a human being. He's huge. You don't see Ballarat just overwhelm teams physically, which is almost a little bit disappointing with the phenomenal athleticism that's all over this Miners roster. Anything you can do. Man. Great pass from Lampkin. Great finish from Dennis. Alley-oop contest here in Ballarat. Ringo didn't want to take that three. Kidd guarding Chris. The shot clock down to 6. Eventually, Gack comes up with the ball. That was called clean by the officials. Dennis the other way. Finds Lampkin. Probably had a good shot there, but threw it out. Eventually, Bungay corrals the ball. No, he doesn't. I think that's Ballarat ball, but
Miners ball.
But good second and third efforts there from Keilor. They lead 18-13.
Entertaining starts of the game,
Yeah.
it must be said.
Yeah. And the first quarter in the women's was a really tight, tense contest. This one, it's only 5 points, but I've already seen more highlights than you can get in some 40-minute games. Gack probably had the layup there again. Sapwell misses Lampkin.
He's been off the last few weeks, hasn't he? Sapwell,
He's in a cold stretch now.
Just for his own confidence, he would have loved that to drop.
React badly misses that one. Almost stole the ball, but gives up the foul instead. Confidence player, Chukuk Riak. He and JD Miller already getting into it. This could be a lot of fun, that matchup. So a few changes here. Dengak out, Jordan Lingard in for Ballarat. Riak and Kidd both take a seat. For Keilor, Carlo Campin, we're in the 13, and Charleston Long, he's turns 40 this month, the big centre. Hope for us old blokes yet, Greg.
Maybe for you, Jared. I think I'm long past.
Great pass from Lingard, well finished by Bungay.
I'm liking what we're seeing from Bungo tonight.
He's been a lot more aggressive, hasn't he?
He has. He's in the play tonight, which.
Little, yes. It was
maybe.
there. There was a little bit of contact. It was probably enough considering that I think it was Dennis who cut the lane. Yeah, it was. Considering he was in the air, it was probably enough just to knock him off his, off balance a little bit. But that's second on Bungo.
He'll take a seat and
Dunmore back in. Kean Dennis, no good with the first.
That cellophane on the 3 shot has struck again, I think.
No, I don't think we're going to have a free throw performance in this second game like we saw from the Miners women in the first. That was unbelievable. But Dennis takes a seat, ball back, checks in. Generally doesn't play a lot of minutes ball back, so interesting to see him in this early in the contest. All right, looking to move it through hands. Dunmore just did well to reel that one in. Faces up, shoots, it's no good. Lingard can't tip it home. Well done by Colin Sapwell. Deflects it out, but good activity from the 2 guard. Played at USC, Charleston Long. Back in the 90s. He's back. Now finds Lampkin. Lingard all over him. There's Long. Long with the 3. Good work, Lampkin, though. Well done, JD Miller. Came out of nowhere. 36 seconds to play. Ballarat can get the 2 for 1 if they're quick and aware here. Looks like they're not going to. Little hip check almost there from Lingard. Oh, Sapple, that's a poor turnover. But well done, Miller. Single-handedly broke up a 3-on-1 fast break. Great work by Miller. Much more defensively active than we saw him in the entirety of last week's game. Long, Lampkin. Clock down, as it winds down. That's no good from Charleston Long. And that will do us for the first quarter here at Selkirk Stadium in Ballarat. And the Keilor Thunder, after racing out to an 8-zip lead inside about 2 minutes, still hold the lead, but it is a little bit closer. 19-15, the Thunder leading the Ballarat Miners, Greg.
Interesting first quarter, given we saw, as we said, we saw a lot of highlights in that first quarter,
Yeah. A pair of alley-oops, back-to-back alley-oops.
But it's low scoring as well. It's
Yeah.
15-19. Both teams are going at about 38-39%. It's pretty even across the ball. I think Keilor's probably been a slightly better team, but I think a lot of that's had to do with Shaq's shooting. I think that's probably.
It's the only time we'll ever say that Shaq shot the ball well.
I think that's probably the difference in the game at the moment. Sapwell had a chance from long range. David Chris missed one from long range as well. You know, if a couple of those had fallen, we'd pretty much have a 20-all sort of scoreline at quarter time.
But it was that early explosion
Yeah.
from Kupriak, and he's more than capable of that. The man is an ace jump shooter. He's just electric from deep. And on 2 of those threes, we've seen arrows fly into the crowd.
What did you make of the Miners setup with Crisp and Zach Dunmore starting on the court?
Well, look, it's considering that Will Hines has started the last couple of games and is a natural point guard. Before that, Nick Pozzoglu was starting as almost the de facto point guard, even though he's more of a wing. With those 2 out, Crisp had to come back in. There was no doubt he had to come back in. The one weakness in this Ballarat roster is its outside shooting. They're big, they're strong, they're long, they're powerful, they're athletic, they move the ball well, but realistically, the only big minutes ace outside shooter is JD Miller. Dunmore himself is a wonderful jump shooter. He's still got to round out other areas of his game, but his shooting is already A+. So if you're going to have someone come in, you may as well have him. So I don't mind it. And especially considering Sapple struggles in the last 5 or 6 weeks. Crisp in the corner, catch and shoot, in and out.
Again.
Good pass from Lewis there to set the fast breakaway. Camp doesn't get the layup.
That was good defence by Miller there. He held his position well and wouldn't let them in.
We've already seen a couple of really good defensive efforts from JD Miller, the sort of stuff Cohen Sapwell.
That's what we want to see from
Good
Sapwell.
aggressive drive.
The Miners are going to be a finals threat this year. They need Cohen Sapwell to be doing exactly that.
Yeah, going back to Miller, I mean, we've seen a couple of really good, attentive defensive efforts that won't show up on any box score, but they prevent baskets. It's the sort of stuff that coaches love. Lewis no good there.
I like what Jordan Wingard brings to the Miners team as well. Actually, he just adds that little bit of extra height, which that little bit of strength. Sapwell goes in again.
Sapwell, yeah, he wanted the foul call. He was out of control. It might have been there, but it would have been soft. Ball back, can't reel it in. Now Reese Lewis with the ball. Long steps into another three. None for three for the veteran centre. Dunmore aggressive on ball back. Gets the foul, can't get the roll. But Dunmore will go to the line with the chance to tie this one. It's like Dennis checking back in for Keilor. Ball back will take a seat. So Dunmore, we mentioned he's shooting just a hair under 40% from three on the season. Averages about 6 points a game.
Nice.
Comfortably drops the first. Chance to tie it up here. Can't do so. Dunmore tries to keep it alive with the ball with Camp. And every time I look at Carlo Camp, I think it's a young Delonte West for those who remember the former Boston Celtics point guard. Well done, Dunmore, and that was off Camp's leg. That has got the crowd going. It's got the bench up. Well done, Zach Dunmore. Pesky defense. Camp straight away takes a seat. And Glasgow, the Keilor coach, did not like what he saw there. Yeah, he's got his arm around his man. Just good coaching from Glasgow. Pull him straight away. Talk to him. Keep his confidence up. Give him instruction. That's really good coaching as Sapple throws that one away. Jordan Lingard, 6'8", and he needed to be about 7 foot to get to that. We almost saw Tyler Kidd cough up that ball then. Reese Lewis comes around the pick. Got an easy avenue to the basket. We've got a late call there.
Very late call.
I'm not sure what the call is, to be honest.
Is it a Miners ball, is it?
It's Miners ball, as we see Dan Gack checking for Lingard, but I'm not actually sure what the call was. I thought it might have been a late call on free throws, perhaps, but... Ah, there we are. I thought I saw two fingers from the referee, so it's a goaltending call.
That might be number 6 for the weird things tonight, I think. You don't see goaltending. However, the Miners have had a lot of goaltending decisions go against them.
Yeah, that's what you get when you're a big and athletic team. You know, you're going to fly at those shots, and sometimes you're going to be late. Sometimes it's going to hit the board first as Miller draws one.
It's quite an even contest at the moment. There's not a lot between the two sides.
And it's been a little bit of, you know, as much as we've seen some highlight plays, it's been quite a defensive game so far. You know, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter, and as Miller misses the free throw, and we don't have 40 points accumulative yet. Now these two sides, you know, Keilor aren't a particularly high-scoring side. 74.5 points, comes in 15th in the league, and Ballarat 79.6 is good for 10th. So I wouldn't, and defensively, Ballarat in particular, Keilor 10th in the league in defence, with Ballarat 3rd. So it's not exactly a shock, Greg, that these two teams are, defensively these two teams are getting it done, but considering some of the highlights we've had in the first quarter, it doesn't feel like a defensive game until you look at the scoreboard.
There's been a fair few blocks and a few steals and turnovers and things like that. It's
just forcing some bad shots.
It's not
too.
a clean game at the moment, is it?
It's just forcing tough shots at the moment. It's even there, good shot from Lewis, nice little float, but even there, Dunmore was on his case. Bungay back into the lineup. Miller with that almost set shot, barely jumps when he shoots, JD Miller. And then just races the other way. Oh wow, Tyler Kidd wide open, but the big 6'7", 6'8" frame of Miller put him off the shot. Bungay eventually cleans up the miss from Kidd.
Incredibly athletic Bungay when it comes to those defensive rebounds.
No good with a shot over Riak, who's also checked back in. Good D from Dengak there, just got a little cheeky hand on it. Riak, that's really long. It's very deep three, but good close from Dengak there. A little push there from, little push wasn't called, but then the chop on the arm as Cohen Sappel put that up was. So Sappel, he's got the chance to add to his 2 points so far.
For the Miners' sake, Sapwell's probably one of the key players that's really got to find some form in the last 6 weeks of the season. If his form continues the way it currently is.
Another one rattles in and out.
Miss. There's a theme developing here tonight. There's something going on, but so Sapwell, concentrate at the line, send it down.
So that cuts the margin to 3. 6:20 to play in the opening half at Selkirk Stadium. And the Miners trail the visiting Thunder 20-23. Sappel picks up the chop on the arm. That's his second foul. He and Bungay both with 2 for Ballarat. Kupriak, the only man with more than 1 foul for Keilor. There's the travel on Kieran Dennis. He doesn't like it, but it was there. Little slide of the pivot as he tried to move Bungay around. Dunmore looked to step into the 3. It was good close from Kidd. As Miller takes Gak's screen. Now Gak. Little baby hook over Lampkin's no good. React with the board. Here's Tyler Kidd. Great hair on Tyler Kidd, by the way. Oh, wonderful finish. Even better than the hair was the layup. Pushes the lead to 5. Ballarat running without a traditional point guard. React slaps it off the ball. Oh. Wow! Dang, Gak attacks the rack. That is huge. Wow, that stopped our train of thought. That was huge from Gak. We want to see the alley-oop.
Nearly another anything you can do, I can do better again.
Lampkin puts it in for 2, but somewhat of a party pooper there. Just an ordinary layup.
We've seen some incredible highlights, and yet we've seen a
it's
very
still only 22-27.
Defensive, low-scoring sort of slog of a game, haven't we?
Here
we go again. Oh,
Miller.
Kiss on the 3.
Ooh. Little kiss of the hand, point to the crowd. JD Miller getting into it.
I genuinely thought
you're right, this has been a game of highlights. It's been a game for Twitter.
I genuinely thought that was an alley-oop pass when he let that go, actually.
Well, that's the thing. Because he doesn't jump on that shot, you can't really tell. I did have a look and I thought, there's no way he's throwing an alley-oop to Zach Dunmore. Oh, nobody's got... Oh, wow, that's too easy. Too easy for Tyler Kidd. When a man's 5'9", you have to approach him. You can't let him shoot. Put a hand up, make him shoot over you. He'll take that all day. Here's Miller. Goes baseline on Lampkin.
He
stepped out of bounds, too close to the baseline. So Crisp in for Dunmore. What I was going to mention when Dengak shook the world for a moment was that Ballarat was playing without a traditional point guard there, without Hines, without Pozzoglu, Chris on the bench. And it just showed Ballarat's offense was rather stagnant. So now that Crisp is back out there, as much as he's more of a scoring point guard than as we see, Kidd, lovely.
Back-to-back buckets.
Great basket from Tyler Kidd. But interesting to see whether Ballarat can get a little bit more flow into their offense with the point guard out there now. Wingate won't take those threes often. He prefers to drive. No good there. React, great rebound. It looks like that's come off React's leg. Good effort, Cohen Sapple. Otherwise, React would have swallowed that. So Ballarat trail by 6, 25-31. 3:43 to play as we have a timeout called by Ballarat coach Luke Sunderland.
Probably a good time to call one, I think, actually. It's, the lead's not quite out of hand yet, but they would. The Miners would want to. They'd want to score, I think, from this. From
a couple of empty possessions and some solid Keilor offense could see this one get concerning for the home side. And we mentioned both sides shooting well under sub 40%. The last few possessions, Keilor have. Ballarat's made hay by getting a few offensive rebounds and free throws. Keilor have just ran really good offense. And it shows in the fact that they've gone up from like 37, 38%,
45%
up to 45.
And if you look at their, the 2-point shooting, they're 10 of 17, they're 59%, whereas the Miners are 7 of 18. If you're looking at a 6-point margin in the game, there is the margin really.
And where Ballarat are making hay, we mentioned free throws. They've shot 9 compared to only 3 for Keilor, and
56%.
Yeah, as we mentioned, not making them as much as they would probably like, but the fact they are getting to the line for a big physical side like the Ballarat Miners is a positive, because it's something Ballarat doesn't do enough of. In the case for the Thunder, and despite having React, they're not a particularly proficient or prolific three-point shooting team, but considering how Ballarat can get beaten on the perimeter at times, we saw that last week against the Raiders. They just got slaughtered by Adam Gibson. Oh, that may have been a foul there. I think that was missed, but Cohen Sapple wild with the three. Bungay can't reel it in. The Ballarat can get beaten for all of their interior defensive strength. They can get beaten on the outside, and there's a man to do it. Having a 6'7", 6'8" shooter like React, he's a very tough man to guard. Good screen from Lampkin. Good slips. Lampkin spins, steps back, finds Lewis. Reese Lewis can't hit.
Foot.
Would have been through. But good work. Bit of happy feet there from Reese Lewis. Broke up the play. There's a bit of knock-off Neil Diamond plays at Selkirk Stadium. Good D-react, great trap, excellent trap. Great defense, Keilor. Then Miller, loses hands, but that's outstanding defense from Keilor, led by a very, very quick and aggressive double team from React.
It's kind of an exhausting kind of game. You look at a few of the players. There's already a couple of them with their hands on their hips and things like that. It's taking a lot out of both teams. This match.
It's not a bad call. It's a good way to put it. Exhausting. So we see the two number 9 lefties. Lampkin couldn't reel in the rebound. Ends up tapping it to Dengak. Miller, he can take that long three. Cohen Sapple, strong drive. Gives Keanu Dennis the too small. There's been a lot of trash talk in this game. Look, React, JD Miller, we expect that, but Cohen Sapple with a little bit there. There's Lampkin, almost travels. Dennis steps out. Wanted to take Miller then, but didn't. Probably a good option. Lampkin much bigger than... there we go. Yeah, stepped out. It would have been a shot clock violation anyway. Lampkin did have a big advantage over Sapple. Declined to back him down and go to the hoop.
We're seeing some aggression from from Sapwell tonight, which we certainly haven't
both
seen
ends.
for the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
The Miners are going to get that from Miller. I'd just like to see, if for the Miners' sake, I'd like to see Zach Dunmore just get on the board. I think he can be a confidence player at times. He's been given an opportunity to start tonight. It'd be nice for the Miners' sake for Dunmore to get a little bit of action.
I will say that Liam Glascott and his team have scouted Dunmore well. He has not seen an inch of airspace when he catches on the perimeter. And they're doing well to get the ball out of... there we go. Just as I say that. Can't finish that time. That foul will be on Sapwell. That's his second.
2 on Sapwell. It's just the Miners' second for the quarter, though, so no issues with heading to the line yet. Keilor's on 4.
So 1 minute 50 to play. The Thunder with the ball and a 4-point advantage. Here's Lampkin. Oh, great spin move. Excellent hands from Miller. Ooh, yeah, I'm not sure that was a travel, but jump ball perhaps. If it was a jump, it would have stayed Keilor ball. One way or the other. Good defense, JD Miller. He has been so much more impressive defensively than he was last week. Oh, Dengak, look at that positioning he's got. Good work, Chris, to find him early, but how do you let him get that sort of seal that early in the offense? As Dennis drives hard to the hoop. Great finish, Cowan Dennis.
Just floated on air then.
Sapple finds Chris. He looks to go to the basket. Can't finish. Keeps it alive. But only tips it as far as Kidd. Here's the marquee matchup again. Lampkin and Miller. Good defense from Miller. The ball eventually falls to Dennis. Good verticality from Sapple, but it doesn't matter. It was a great finish. And crisp at the other end. What a pass that was from JD Miller as well. Not just the execution, but the vision to get that ball turned and on the spin, hurl it from out of bounds under the backboard to a man over half court. Oh, that should possibly be goaltending.
2 points.
Yeah, that's
2 points. Yep.
I think as much as Miller doesn't like it, I think that's the right call. And for a start, even if it's not in the cylinder, it'd hit the backboard. That automatically, in my book, makes it 2 points.
I think the right call was.
Gak doesn't like it.
Was made. I think the right call was made.
I think,
there.
I agree. David Crisp was sitting there going, "Who wants to bring the ball in?" Luke Sunderland calls a timeout. Whether he wants to talk to his team or to the... Oh, we've got a tech foul here. We've got a tech. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's on the bench, yeah. I didn't see a number called after the tech was signalled by the official, so I can only assume between that and the fact that Luke Sunderland is standing away from his team, death staring the referees.
And has not moved, and hands are on hips. So.
No, he's statuesque right now, so can only assume that tech foul is on the Ballarat head coach. Still has not moved a muscle.
It's like the Statue of Liberty just over there, isn't it?
He's a little teapot, short and stout. Here is his handle. Here is his tech foul. 30 seconds to go in the first half. Keilor will shoot free throws with a 6-point lead. Ballarat will get the ball back since the tech was called when the ball was dead. But still, the free throws can bring it out to 8 points. And
having a discussion
Ballarat
with
don't
the
score.
ref right now, the coach. He walks away, he points, he walks away, he just sits down.
As he turned away and pointing at the referee, I saw the whistle go in the mouth there. I thought, surely not.
Not again.
Surely we're not going to get him thrown out. So it'll be Tyler Kidd to shoot the free throws for the Thunder. No problem with the first. That never looked like missing. Oh, one free throw.
I think that's number 9 for the night now in terms of interesting, confusing things that have happened.
Yeah, it's been full of little...
under the roof here at Selkirk
Yeah,
Stadium.
it's been a lot full of idiosyncrasies, these two games. So under 30 seconds to play. We'll see if Ballarat go 2 for 1. They trail by 7 at the moment. Miller maybe travelled there as he drove on Lampkin. Strong move, JD Miller. Strong move. Little bump there on Lampkin too. Not much in it, but just another one of those little moments in this game, Greg. Little flashpoints so far.
6 seconds, Tyler Kidd with it again.
Oh, well done by Chris. React, there's no way he's hitting that, surely. Fancy looking pass from Tyler Kidd, didn't come off. And ultimately, we get to half-time with a 5-point margin. The Thunder, who, as we mentioned, jumped out of the blocks off the hot shooting of Shaq Riak, hold a 5-point lead, 38-33 over the Miners.
So it's been an interesting...
So Miller, we've seen, it's been the stars for Ballarat that have gotten it done. We've seen Miller at 10 points, 3 boards. Preston Bungay, 6.7 boards.
Started
and
very
Miller
well,
with 3
Preston.
assists as well.
Hasn't seen much since that second foul.
No, and look, he's not going to score a hell of a lot. He did average close to 20 points a game for Sandringham last year, but that was a Sandringham side that was sitting at the foot of the table. On a much stronger side, he doesn't need to be a primary offensive player, but that suits him well where he can slide into the cracks.
He had the 7 rebounds,
yeah,
though, so
he does that well. And at the other end, we've got Riak with those 3 early threes. But the one that's sort of got me a little bit is Lampkin. He's got 7 points, but
hasn't been a dominant force, has he?
No, it's been a fairly quiet 7 points for him so far.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half. I think from the Miners' perspective, I think they need to open this game up a little bit. I think if they go with the defensive, 30 to 40 points a quarter, that's not for the half. That's not going to get the job done here. You're going to need probably to score 80 points to win this game tonight. I think if you're a Ballarat Miners team, I think they need to open it up a little bit and get a little bit more action, because I don't think Keilor are going to go away tonight. We saw last week how wonderful they were against Kilsyth. So I think the Miners need to open this game up now a little bit in order to get going here.
Yeah, Ballarat will play good defence. They will, unless Riak gets off the leash again, they'll probably hold Keilor to, low to mid 70s you would expect, but I'm genuinely not sure whether...
Have they got another 50 points in them?
Exactly.
The Miners as well?
That's going to be
unless they open it up.
That's going to be the thing. Can Keilor's defence hold? Can Ballarat push through? So we will take a quick break here from Selkirk Stadium, but as you might be able to tell, we will have a second half full of intrigue coming right up.
I'll have a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express with award-winning Coles Urban Coffee Culture from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
Hi, my name's Janelle McQueen. I'm a Wired True woman. We're from Wagga Wagga Leeton area, and we are mostly tree carvers. So a lot of the artwork in this design is lines. This piece is done for the NBL 1, which is a semi-professional basketball league. It's a piece that represents all of the 8 states and territories. It sort of shows the beginning of the league itself, the present, and moving into the future. So with this particular one, the NBL 1 has approached me and told me their story. And then I take all of those elements and I go back to books and histories and my family. So because this one's actually painted in a Wiradjuri style, I've then had to go back to my aunties and uncles and my traditional owners and ask permission to use those symbols for this painting. The main thing is that each state needs to be recognised as their own individuality. They're not just another state. They have different environments, different communities, different socio-economics that need to be taken into account when you look at how hard these teams fight to get their place in this league. So the line work here, the lines on the ball, create the shapes and the sections of each state. These elements here, this is a meeting place. Most people sort of think of it for like a campfire or even a dining table, and this is a symbol for a man. It's a U shape of him sitting with his legs crossed, and then this is the one for a female with the 2 digging sticks. So there are community groups. This one's 5 females, so that's a team. There are parts of it, so here's 5 males, that's another team. So there's elements all through the painting showing it, and then these ones are the gathering places where they come together to hold their competitions and they play against each other, and each state has those elements as well. So overall the painting is to sort of show the NBL 1 as it's gone from its past to its present sort of form, and then showing the hope for the future and the growth. It's always got to have room for growth.
My new dream home with areas to call my own. It's my Hotondo home. It's
I'll have a strong, smooth, creamy latte.
Be your own barista at Coles Express. With award-winning Coles Urban Coffee Culture from just $1. Express yourself at Coles Express.
Hi, my name's Janelle McQueen. I'm a Wiradjuri woman. We're from Wagga Wagga Leeton area, and we are mostly tree carvers. So a lot of the artwork in this design is lines. This piece is done for the NBL 1, which is a semi-professional basketball league. It's a piece that represents all of the 8 states and territories. It sort of shows the beginning of the league itself, the present, and moving into the future. So with this particular one, the NBL 1 has approached me and told me their story. And then I take all of those elements and I go back to books and histories and my family. So because this one's actually painted in a Wiradjuri style, I've then had to go back to my aunties and uncles and my traditional owners and ask permission to use those symbols for this painting. The main thing is that each state needs to be recognised as their own individuality. They're not just another state. They have, different environments, different communities, different socio-economics that need to be taken into account when you look at how hard these teams fight to get their place in this league. So the line work here, the lines on the ball, create the shapes and the sections of each state. These elements here, this is a meeting place. Most people sort of think of it for like a campfire or even a dining table. And this is a symbol for a man. It's a U shape of him sitting with his legs crossed. And then this is the one for a female with the 2 digging sticks. So there are community groups. This one's 5 females, so that's a team. There are parts of it, so here's 5 males, that's another team. So there's elements all through the painting showing it. And then these ones are the gathering places where they come together to hold their competitions and they play against each other. And each state has those elements as well. So overall, the painting is to sort of show the NBL 1 as it's gone from its past to its present sort of form, and then showing the hope for the future and the growth. It's always got to have room for growth.
Come on! My new dream home with memories to come on. It's my Hatondo home. It's my Hatondo home. Na, 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 It's my Hatondo home.
Welcome back to Selkirk Stadium here in Ballarat for the second half of the men's fixture of this NBL 1 clash between the Keilor Thunder and the Ballarat Miners. The Thunder sitting towards the foot of the NBL 1 South table, 17th place, 3 wins on the season, only 3 wins on the season. Come in here and not necessarily taking control of the match, but they hold a 5-point lead at the half. Greg Glidden, who's with me here. Greg, what are you looking for in the second half? Both from Keilor looking to hold on and from Ballarat looking to claw their way back in.
I think Keilor are doing what they need to do here. I think they're probably a team that will be looking between 70 and 80 points in the game and against a pretty strong defensive Miners side. I think the game really has to be on the Miners here, because they're going to probably need to score 50 points in the second half if they're going to win this game. So what are they going to do differently? Are we going to... Zach Dunmore looks like he's going to start again, as is David Chris.
Yeah, back to the original starting five.
So it's I think it's up to the Miners actually to put something different on the game. I think if this game continues the way it is, I mean realistically it's that 8-0 start that Keilor leads by at the end of the day. But if this game continues the way it's going, Keilor's probably going to run out victors here, and probably comfortable victors, to be honest with you. So I think it's up to the Miners to see what can they do. I'd like to see. As you said earlier, I think they've done a lot of great work on Zach Dunmore's outside game, and David Crisp hasn't had a huge impact. Preston Bungay's has started reasonably well, but was quiet after that second foul. I've liked JD Miller's game, but we need to see more now from the Miners if they are going to, put a team they should put to the sword.
So both teams back to their starting fives. Score bench gives the thumbs up, and we're underway in the third quarter at Selkirk. So Tyler Kidd will open up the third quarter. Good drive, almost a wild drive in the end. Riak, they open him up on the screen there, and you can't give Riak a look.
Another arrow.
There it is, and that was straight at Dengak as well. A good screen from Matt Spencer. Riak, 6'8", high release, doesn't need a lot of space, but he got just enough from that screen. Crisp misses a layup he really should have made. This kid pull up Jay from the free throw line's no good. Gak eventually tidies up the loose ball. Miller looks to answer the three. It's in and out. Dunmore can't corral it. Spencer the other way. Lampkin fires at Riak. Good close from Bungay. Yeah, it was long. And Miller, great pass. JD Miller.
He's fouled on the way.
Yeah, Spencer did the right thing there. Saves the dunk. Sends a... Bungay's a good free throw shooter, 80%, one of the better ones in this Ballarat lineup, but you always want to take free throws as the defensive side rather than a dunk.
That was one of the quickest 59 seconds you've ever seen. It was up and down the floor 3 or 4 times there. That was some terrific starts from both sides here.
And that might be the third, maybe fourth outstanding outlet pass from JD Miller this evening. Almost quarterback-like, just gunslinging.
2 from 2 for Preston, as you were spot on there with the good free throw shooting.
He's a good, for a guy who's not a particularly good outside shooter, he's an excellent free throw shooter. Kidd and Crisp match up again, the two diminutive little left-handed point guards. Miller got a piece of that one, but it falls to Dennis.
In between 3 Miners there. That was poor defence by the Miners.
I think there was a little bit of right place, right time, considering it was a blocked shot. But still, good presence of mind to finish amongst 3 Miners. Dengak kicks it to Crisp. Catch and shoot 3. That's short. David Crisp really needs one of these to go down. He can score in bunches, but just hasn't had his shot since he's come back from that hamstring strain in late May. Work from Keilor swinging that ball, and that will really hurt Chris to see Kidd drill one in his face after missing an open one himself. That lead is out to 11 now. Dunmore, good drive left-handed, can't finish. Gak over the top of Tyler Kidd, and he picks up the foul. So Keilor come out early in this second half with all of the authority.
I'm seeing Amos Brooks coming into the game now. This is the first.
First minutes for the big Amos Brooks, Ballarat junior.
Gak looks very frustrated over on the.
He's only got the 2 fouls. It's not a free throw issue. Foul trouble issue either.
There's some frustration there, I think.
He'll fancy taking on Brooks. He knows he's got him for speed. There, Riak, another one that's long. As much as he's hit 4 threes, the ones that he's missed, they've all missed by a long way. But Dunmore, good
Dunmore's-
aggressive drive at the other end. He'll go to the line for 2.
Need to see more of this from Zach Dunmore. That he's been given an opportunity tonight, and he at this point has not taken it. But let's hope for his sake, in the second half, he can get some score on the board.
Yeah, and look, Dunmore, he's probably better suited to being a shooter off the bench at this point in his career. He's still a young man. He's only 21, I believe. Yeah, still only 21.
But there's talent there. There's
Yeah,
talent
there is a good starting NBL 1.2 guard in there somewhere. But needs must tonight. No Will Hines, no Nick Pizoglu.
It's his chance.
For those who missed it earlier, Will Hines sprained his ankle through the week, the young point guard, and Nick Pizoglu is over in the Wild Wild West attending the wedding of Boom and Nick Kay. You see Lampkin travel inside. I've got to admit, I'm not sure that not too many complaints from Lampkin, but
see that one.
yeah, I'm not sure I saw a travel in there. It looked like a good pivot to me, but I'm a lot further away than the official. Bringo was looking to go back door there. It was well covered from Dennis. Here's Bringo. Good defense.
That's charge.
Yeah, that's a genuine 50-50 for me, but it was good anticipation from Riak. If nothing else, even if he got there a touch late, he knew where Bringo wanted to go.
Is that 3 on Preston, I think? Is that?
No, that's on Riak.
That's on
That's
Riak,
3.
That's on Riak.
Yeah,
Yep.
that is his third, though. 6:48 to play.
Again, Miners have only scored 3 points for the quarter to date. It's not going to get the job done. They need to find a way to score. The defence is holding up as well as it can, but the attacking game needs to find a way.
Yeah, the offense isn't flowing at this point. It's a 10-point game, 36-46. Ballarat trail the visiting Keilor Thunder. There's that aggressive trap again from Keilor. Just pushes Ballarat out of their rhythm a little bit. The shot clock down to 6. Crisp finds Miller, finds Brooks, lays it in. Again, another nice little pass from Miller there. He's really showing off his playmaking this evening.
Chance. And Chris goes in, just misses the layup. Kid takes it away. Great move.
Dennis, yeah,
great move.
Strong move.
Good move by Miller here.
Kisses it off the glass. Good finish.
There's a little bit of flow coming into the game now. Kid under.
There's Lampkin, that's
Lampkin
short.
misses.
Good rebound. Dennis slips on the decal. He would have gone up quickly otherwise. It's unfortunate there for Dennis. He had 2 points and lost it through no fault of his own. Oh, Crisp had the shot there. Here's Miller straight away. No good with that one. Keilor looking to push this back out the double figures.
Out.
Yeah, Brooks played good D there, did just enough. Now, he's not super athletic, Amos Brooks, but he's got reasonable speed east to west. And he is, 6'8", 6'9". He's a big slab of a human being to move around.
Just bringing the ball forward. Bungay. Yeah, he's been fouled. He will go to the line for another 2.
That's what Bungay does well. He's an aggressive player heading to the basket. As Brooks checks out for Dunmore. Good solid minutes again from Amos Brooks.
Your thoughts on that move? I would have kept Brooks on. I thought he offered them a little bit.
Yeah, look, I dare say, against a side with a good front line, like this Keilor one, he's probably good for impact moments, if that makes sense. Get him out there, go hard for 3 or 4 minutes. He made a couple of good defensive possessions, got a strong rebound, finished under the hoop from a nice feed from Miller. He's done his job. He might flush him out again for 2.5 minutes in the last quarter as well.
He's helped them reduce the margin from 11 to 6 now.
Yeah. Get Gak back in and...
I might have kept him out there for another minute or so, I think.
Yeah, ultimately, if Gak's ready to go... Good finish by Lampkin over Gak, who surprisingly stayed on his feet there. I thought he would have at least jumped and gone at that shot. Oh, crisp, lovely move. No good on the jumper. There's Lampkin triple teamed. Ball swings long. Oh, a man who's none for 3 gets Gak off his feet. Ends up with Reese Lewis.
Back out to 11 points.
There's a travel there on Sapwell. He had Nick Bannon on skates too. Didn't really need to shuffle the feet.
I just wondered, have the Miners missed a trick here with the physical presence under the basket? I just would have kept Amos out on there and just...
Yeah, it might not be a bad call. I mean, Dengak's clearly the better basketballer, but Brooks does offer something different. And Lampkin, he's a big physical specimen. He's going to put the shoulder into the chest. Now, Brooks won't back off from that. Great block. Huge block on Sapwell. Is Lewis. Boongay can't get there. Well done, Reese Lewis. Good finish under pressure. That pushes the lead out to a game-high 13, 55-42. The Thunder, they've come in and they are running away with this one.
Dare we say it, the Thunder are lightning at the moment?
Boom, and indeed Tish. You know, something I said at the start, how Ballarat, they're missing Hines, they're missing Kazoglu. They needed to make a statement tonight. We've got basically 14 minutes of basketball left, and I have yet to see that statement. There's been a little bit more spirit, but ultimately, you're missing players. But this is and Keilor are better than a 3-win side. But if Ballarat have aspirations of making the finals and really shaking up the finals, this is the game you have to win. And at the moment, they're looking well short of the mark.
When I was when they were winning games earlier in the year, they weren't doing it easily. They were winning games.
And that is the way Luke
by
Summerall
3
wants them to
points,
play.
5
They want
points.
them to be. He wants them to be that tight, hard to play against defensive side. But if the effort isn't there for whatever reason, and you don't have the offense to make up for that, this is what happens. Knox last week is what happens.
Right now, I would be looking at a Jordan Lingard. I'd be looking at an Amos Brooks. Just someone to give the Miners just a lift. I think Sapwell's been off for a lot of this quarter, so we'll see what he can do. But
the first time he drove, he got absolutely swallowed by Charleston Long.
There needs to change it up. They're a little bland at the moment, the Miners, and they need to find their mojo a little bit.
Shot clock down to 4 here. Gak finds Chris, has to shoot. That's no good. McIntolley hit the floor hard there.
Oh, wide open.
Good transition defense in the end from the Miners. They still need to get the stop though. Shot clock down to 10. That looks like it'll be on Boongay.
Yeah, that would be number 3 on Boongay.
.13 lead here, 3:07 left to play in the third. JD Miller checks back in for Boongay.
I think he has to stay on, Miller. I think he offers them a point of difference. I think he's a very important cog with this team.
He's the best offensive player on the team, no doubt, and can be just about the best defensive player. He's a very talented basketballer, but considering the shot clock was still at 6, that was, unless he thought he was fouled there, I'm not sure what Kidd was doing.
Might be.
Oh, that's great defense.
Yeah, that might be a.
Is that Akintoli? It was.
Foul, yeah.
Yep.
But that was Miller trying to do something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least tried to create.
Yeah.
But credit where it's due. Abby Akintoli read it, took the contact, drew the charge. So we see again.
42 points deep into a third quarter. That's not going to
It's
cut
poor.
it.
It's poor. And even when you consider the players missing, Hines is a good point guard, but he's 19. You know, he's only started 1 or 2 games in his career. He's going to be very good, but there is a reason that he's only started 1 or 2 games. He's not there yet. And Nick Bazoglu is a Swiss Army knife, but his impact is defensively. He can guard anyone on and off the ball. He's wonderful. What he provides you on offense is supplementary. Right now, the Miners just cannot buy a basket.
Bit of a delay here while the official mops up the sweat. It's amazing how often this happens in the boys' games, and yet the girls, they don't seem to worry when they when they hit the ground, do they? It always seems to be the delays in the boys' games.
Ah, they're just not as sweaty.
Well,
As my grandmother used to say, ladies, listen.
anyway.
You clean up sweat, you don't clean up glisten.
We're talking a lot about the Miners here, but at the end of the day, though, Keilor have been outstanding.
They have. They've played this really well.
Look at that. Excellent. That's turned over, but
Yeah, it's a nice play, though.
yeah.
He's crisp.
Misses.
Could have taken a
layup
hit there,
again.
but yeah.
Keilor have done their homework tonight.
Yeah.
They've come in and they've got a plan, and they've known who to target. That's a foot, I think.
Not sure that hit Gak's foot, but ultimately Gak did throw a foot at it, so you can understand where that call came from. The shot clock resets to 14.
And you have to look at last week's performance from Keilor over Kilsyth, where they toughed it out.
Yeah.
The whole way they toughed it out, and this is a team that is not 3 and that should not be 3 and 10.
Oh, Long wide open. That's a dagger from Charleston Long. That's a huge three right at the end of the shot clock. Miller chose to dive in to stop the drive.
Just will not
Can't
fall.
hit. But Long, none of 3 from deep to that point. That's a killer. Here's Keon Dennis.
Beautiful move.
Oh, hangs in the air.
It's getting away now.
Yeah, 42-60. This is in danger of consecutive blowouts against Ballarat.
When they hadn't lost a game by more than 7, I don't think, until about a week ago.
No,
Nothing falls. Nothing's falling for
I
them.
think that'll be against Keon Dennis there. I think the call's a hold.
Oh, it's not against Miller, is it?
No, it was in that little
Oh, no,
contest
it's-
between Sappel and Dennis. So you've called for Lingard, bit of energy, but an interesting one.
Is that
Ned Renfrey.
Ned Renfrey in?
Yeah. So there's 3 rookies in this Ballarat roster in Lucas Impey, Jackson Talbot, and Renfrey. And Renfrey's probably, if you had to rank him, he's probably the 3rd of them. The other 2 aren't here tonight, but
He's light. He's 16, I think, Ned. Isn't
Yeah,
he?
he
So
is.
he's very light.
I was coaching against him at junior level, only 6 months ago.
He has talent.
Oh, he's very,
He
very
has
good.
a lot of talent.
Yeah, but he is a baby at this level. He's, he's still
Just look
Getting
at
his feet
look
wet.
at the arm definitions
Yeah.
next to
exactly, yeah. So again, 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
Wow.
Dennis holds the hoop as that ball rattles around.
Is that legal?
There are enough people around you can justify it. You don't want to come down on someone. So good defense from Carlo Camp, and then draws the foul out of JD Miller. Good dig from Camp there.
So we're looking this quarter. It's 24 points to 10 for the quarter in favour of the visitors.
And to be honest,
It's felted.
yeah, that passes the eye test, that score. Camp goes past Dunmore, loses the ball. 2 and 2, Sapwell. Good finish from Dunmore, great finish. Here's Camp, Dunmore pushes up on him. Now Ballarat just allow. They get the ball out of the point guard's hand and then allow a 40-year-old centre to bring the ball up. Oh, Lampkin gets Miller off his feet. That'll be a charge. Yeah. That's good defense. It's Dunmore again. Injecting just a little bit of life into this rather moribund Ballarat performance.
Interesting. Three of the five on court right now are probably not what you would call anywhere near the minor start. And this is probably the best passage of the game we've actually seen.
I thought there were passages in the first quarter that were excellent, but the best we've seen for a little while. Miller, just too strong. Too strong. Lampkin wants the charge, but quite frankly, Jacob Lampkin flopped on that. That's what you do when you've just had a charge called on you at the other end. And the referees didn't buy it. Steps into the three, though. Oh, that's well wide. Lingard just about. Oh, Lingard! He almost lost the ball. Off balance from beyond halfway. Miners captain Geordie Lingard. Just a little bit of a miracle shot there, Greg.
Maybe that's the spark that is needed. I think that's the perfect 10 for the night of unusual happenings, Jared.
I'll tell you what, I think we've got the bingo card now.
Oh, I don't think we can do much more. Okay, well, the only thing that will happen now, Miners were 21 points behind a minute ago, and they're back to 12.
And look, as much as that's given a spark to the team, a spark to the crowd, it does, like a 15-point margin just looks unassailable with 10 minutes to play. 12? It's difficult, but you're not out of it.
No, as we saw, I think we when we were doing our research for the women's game last week, I think we saw it was 13-point last quarter turnaround, wasn't it? In the Kilsyth
Keilor game
last week, which saw. But I think if the Miners are to win this, they're going to need 30 points in the last quarter here. They're going to need to throw caution to the wind, and it's going to need to land. And they're not winning it otherwise.
Yeah, look, a 2-point loss here is just as good as a 25-point loss, so you may as well go for it.
You may as well go for it. Yeah, it's.
So, with a quarter to play, I mean, look, Ballarat shooting 35% from the floor, 20%, and Ballarat are not a good three-point shooting team, but 20% from beyond the arc. Keilor getting it done, 48% from the floor.
Keilor have got the rebounds up as well. Yeah. More assists, more turnovers though from Keilor, but
Ballarat are very good at that. They're very good at creating turnovers, so that's kind of to be expected.
It's the shooting that's letting them down.
So game-leading score at the moment. If you didn't see this, if you couldn't see the box score, you'd be surprised. I think if I told you it was Keon Dennis with 17. That's he's been really effective, but it's almost a very quiet 17 from a guy who's generally not a quiet player.
No, but
he's just sort of slipped into the cracks, and
Miller's 14 is the best we've got from the Miners' perspective. It's not been a game dominated by one or two players, has it? It's been a game that's. So let's see what the Miners can do here. They're going to have to throw caution to the wind a little bit. Let's see if they can give the home crowd something to cheer about. The home crowd can get right behind them here, so let's see what happens.
That's good defense from Denison React there, but Dunmore wide open.
Back-to-back
down.
Just like that.
And that one a touch more conventional than the first. But that brings the lead to 9. Keilor is still in control, but Ballarat, they have a sniff here.
They can get on a roll too, Ballarat, at times. I think in the first game against Geelong, they were 20 down and they brought that back to overtime.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Back in round 1. And there we go. Good defense from Chris, but Lingard hitting the floor. Bit of energy from Geordie.
Good to see him come on. Good to see him come on and actually give a spark. And
so that will stay Keilor ball, but 3 on the shot clock. So it'll need to be a little quick hitter baseline play here from the Thunder. Expect Lampkin to get this ball. Well, no, it's Dennis.
Oh, Dennis.
Oh, that's,
you can't do that. You can't be doing that.
Yeah.
Can't be doing that. That was missing too. That was missing.
Well drawn up play though, because Bungay did hedge towards Lampkin. I think that's where he expected the ball to go. Oh, now we are. Dennis. Bungay likes the chase down block, but he can't get that. Dennis too long. Finish as well. And that lead suddenly back out to 13. And some energy in the building. It's gotten a little quiet again, Greg.
Might need a little bit more Sweet Caroline, I think, just to get it going again.
And then Miller, rather lazy entry pass. Lingard didn't come to the ball either, and Riak almost picks up a cheap steal. So 8 on the shot clock. Keilor lead 66-53. Bungay shoots a fadeaway three. That was well off. That's Matt Spencer with the rebound. News kid. Looking to set something up. Lampkin, he's too big for Bungay.
Beautiful move.
Couple of inches taller, probably got about 10 kilo on him as well. And that's a big basket. That pushes it to a game, oh, not quite a game high 15, but certainly the highest it's been for a little while.
It's amazing how quickly the energy can sap, isn't it? We're only not even a minute and a half into the quarter here. The Miners went bang bang, got themselves back into single digits, and suddenly it's
Dunmore
15.
3 had some energy in the building, but yeah, look, Keilor, professional work. They've played some good defense, got some nice, easy buckets inside. You know, didn't have to go and make difficult plays under pressure. They just ran their offense. Got some easy looks, none easier than that last play where Jacob Lampkin, too big, too strong for Preston Bungay.
You can't do much about those sorts of moves, but yeah, it's the stuff earlier in the day that's the stuff earlier in the game that's the Miners will live through here. But we'll see what Luke Sunderland can come up with and the Miners coaching staff. At this stage, Keilor will be just thrilled with the way they're travelling. It's they're doing exactly what they need to do. They're being professional. They're showing the class. They're not doing anything outlandish. They're playing a very, very smart game, and they are giving the Miners a belting at the moment.
Well, quite frankly, if Keilor score maybe 5 more points in this game, it's probably over. Here's Dunmore. That one's off. Good rebound, Lampkin. The backcourt pressure, but well broken by Kidd. You know he wants to shoot, but Lingard not giving him airspace. That's a charge. That's good defense from Preston Bungay. Now, we mentioned before the timeout that Bungay gives away size, height and weight to Lampkin, but what he has over him is speed. And we've seen the benefits of height and weight, and then we've seen the benefits of speed.
Miners are going to have to be pretty speedy to get back into this, though.
Yeah, they've got to be perfect from here. Can't be a lot of wasted possessions. Dennis almost nicked one there. Dunmore, some fancy little dribble moves. Can't finish, though. It's another possession where Ballarat don't score. Here's Kidd. That's long. Miller will get the rebound. It's not one to run the ball up quickly, J.D. Miller. Bungay under pressure. Did well to get the...
It's his own rebound.
Yeah, did well to get the rebound. Riak wanted the travel call. Was call on the arm, and Bungay will go to the line for 2. And Riak obviously a little bit heated. Liam Glasgow pulls him just to let him cool his jets for a minute.
Come off and
yep, get your head about you again.
Get a towel on you and just...
Yeah, get your wits. And Glasgow doing the right thing as a coach, takes up the fight for his player. Not that he's getting anywhere.
He's just happy to high five his man in the background there and just say that's good enough. Preston's been good from the line.
Yeah, generally is. So up to 11 points, 8 boards for Preston Bungay. Here's Long. Dunmore wants to try and dig in on that handle. Kidd shoots over the closeout. Well, you could almost count that as a block to JD Miller then. That's off Long. Oh! That looked all the world like it was off Charleston Long. But getting back to before that, Keon Dennis went for the rebound, but he was tipping that in. You could almost count that as a block to Miller.
We'll see what Keilor can come up with here. This is probably, I think if they get through the next 2 minutes, they will.
In and out, unlucky. That was good offense.
Sapwell's
Brigade,
on.
great pass to Sapwell. Oh!
What happened there?
He thinks he was hit. Oh, and that's a dagger. That's a big shot. Tyler Kidd.
What happened
That
there?
hurts. Should have been, if not the dunk, then at least a layup to Cohen Sapple, who just, man, he's so unlucky at the moment. Chris finally gets one to go. Lead is 13. 6 minutes 20 to play.
Keilor backed off the net. You almost get the feeling Keilor are quite happy to take the shot clock now. If they want to take the 24 seconds, they can.
Yeah, they'll get through their sets.
Yeah.
Oh, was that a couple of steps? But no.
Oh, look at
He's
wide open.
And that never
And
looks like
another one
going in,
wide
frankly. And that's another 14 seconds on the shot clock,
That's
too.
right,
Miller, great defense, Miller.
Keilor's ball, though, with
Stays
8
vertical,
seconds.
keeps the arms high. 8 on the shot clock, 57 to 70. Ballarat with a lot of work to do to get back into
40
this.
seconds wasted, isn't it?
That's long, but
Oh.
no box out. No box
And
out.
the
Charleston
foul.
Long just gritting, thinking,
How did
that
this
was
happen?
too easy.
How did this happen?
I just walked in. But Dunmore didn't box out, and then,
Does that count as an assist?
oh, well,
when the ball completely misses?
but who got more of an assist there? Was it the shooter who airballs it, or is the man who doesn't box out and then just takes a weak little swipe?
That's offline. Oh, it's going to roll in.
It will. Took every part of the ring, that one from Long. But he deserves it. He's played well, Charleston Long.
Sapwell
No,
still
good from
can't make a
Sapwell.
three.
This lead is out to 16 now. If it's going to happen for Ballarat, it's got to happen now. Lampkin did well to stay with it, but couldn't force it home. Miller steps into the three. That's no good. Keon Dennis.
It's Hail Mary time, isn't it? Sort of in a way.
Dennis got hit there too, yep.
Yep, done well.
Yep,
Yep.
Dennis got hit there. Good too. Great finish, Keon Dennis. He's had an outstanding game. Up to 23 points. 8 boards, a pair of assists, a pair of steals. He's been brilliant tonight. The 21-year-old wing. Spent a little bit of time in the Brisbane Bullets program at NBL level, a Sunshine Coast boy originally. Oh, another turnover. This is unravelling for Ballarat.
Kid's been wonderful.
Yeah, he's been very good. And as good as he's been, I wouldn't even say he's amongst the top 3 for Keilor tonight. It's been a really, really good team performance all round from the Thunder. Shot clock down to 4. Lampkin, he's got to shoot it. He's wondering what he was doing there, Lampkin, but there was obviously
Taking
a plan.
every second, I think.
Oh, that's almost thrown away. Miller does well to tidy it up. Pulls up. That's a tough shot.
Lovely shot from
Great
Miller.
hit from Miller. So
Probably the one shining light for the Miners tonight. One would think Miller, but he's been that way the last few weeks, hasn't he? He's the one who's had to do a lot of the work.
Look, I got to admit, I was bitterly disappointed with his game last week, but he wasn't on an island there, frankly. Oh, wow! Reese Lewis took a body. That's huge. Oh, that is a monster dunk.
It's been a night of highlights.
We
it
have
has to
seen
say.
some great dunks. Dangak's dunk before. I didn't think we'd see anything better than that for quite a while,
Might have
but
just
wow.
might have just gone past it, I think.
Reese Lewis. That is monstrous.
Jordan Lingard getting ready to come back onto
Yeah,
the court.
I think,
Horse might have bolted though.
I think we'll see the kids coming in shortly.
It looks like Renfrey's up. Is he? No, he's
No,
not
he's
coming
just
in.
there for the high five. Doing the things all the kids at the end of the bench should do. Always give your star a high five. But considering it's Miller that's come out, I think that's the white flag. This Chris ran into teammates in the end.
Oh, still can't make one.
No, Lingard does well. Falls to Gak. Drops it home. Crowd on the baseline still pumped. Not sure they've got too much to be pumped about right now, to be honest, Greg.
It's the home crowd will be going home disappointed tonight. But they have seen a game of highlights, haven't they? And they saw a great win by the Miners women earlier in the day when it looked like they were up against it all the way until Jade Melbourne and co went berserk in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
A team that's on a run, 5 out of 6 now for the Miners women's team.
As the women have come up, though, the boys have
They've dropped away.
Whoa, there's another
There's
dig dunk.
another one.
Another one.
Keon Dennis all over
It's,
Cohen Sapwell.
It's party time, isn't it? Really for the
My.
visitors, and they will be wrapped with the way they're Jordan Lingard showing what he can do. It's
He's one of the few. I mean, look at 16 points. The lead is. It's coming down a little bit. I mean, it is a case of too little too late, clearly.
as you said earlier, a 2-point loss or a 25-point loss. It doesn't really matter, does it? At this point, so we've got Kid at the line, have we?
Yep. Matt Spencer coming back in. Abby Akintole back in as well. He's a big boy, Abby Akintole. Look at the shoulders. He's huge.
They're a strong team, aren't they? They're not an overly tall team, but they're a physically strong team.
Yeah, I mean, Lampkin at 6'8" is just a genuinely big human being. Now, Charleston Long's only 6'6". Akintole probably about 6'7", 6'8", but
Kids are coming in.
Yeah, he's still quite young. So here we go, Brooks, Renfrey back in. And some of the bench getting cleared as well for Keilor. Carlo Camp back in, Bowl back in. Here's Chris. He'll probably stay in just to
get
some reps.
Times.
Get some miles into his legs. I can't get over how much Carlo Camp looks like former NBA point guard Delonte West. Even wears his number. I think Delonte, before the tattoos and, shall we say, personal issues.
He'd be...
Carlo Camp, well done to keep that alive.
Oh, here we go
Back,
again.
an acrobatic drive from Bowl back.
It's been an outstanding display by Keilor.
It really
has to be
has.
said. I mean,
It really has.
as disappointing as the Miners have been, Keilor have been as good.
Yeah,
if you know what
they've
I mean.
been outstanding. Oh, Lingard misses that bank shot badly.
That was just a hit and hope shot. The Keilor coach is still up and about and barking the instructions, even though it's 2 minutes to go.
Up in celebration at the moment, I think.
This is a team that
steps into the.
That's a bit easy.
No good, but yeah, too easy to give away that shot. Bringo with a similar shot at the other end, rims out. Inside 2 minutes to play here at Selkirk. Oh, a little bit of a goose step from Bowl back and finishes.
It's 20 now. Miners have to be careful with percentages. They don't want to lose too many like this that they've seen in the last couple of weeks. So,
yeah,
a couple of 20-point losses. But I think we saw 33 points in the first half, and they're
33 this half. Yeah.
So it's just not going to get the job done.
So
I think defensively it's dropped off a little bit in the last. That's off. It's dropped
Well
off a
done,
little
Lingard.
bit in the last.
That was behind Brooks, that one from Renfrey. Nick Bannon, another youngster in off the bench. McIntyre can't finish. Bannon blocked by Renfrey on the putback. So here's Gungay. Renfrey wide open in the corner. He should hit that. He doesn't. Lingard, almost. And Brooks, strong
Physical.
play.
That might be a no.
Nah, not much in it.
No.
Little bit of frustration, but
Would have liked a few more minutes from Amos tonight. I just think that he gave them something a little bit in that third quarter when he came on.
yeah, he's like, he's an all-effort guy. He's not going to overwhelm you with Olajuwon style moves in the low post, but he's the sort of guy, despite the fact he can barely jump over a folded piece of paper, he always seems to find a fingertip on an offensive board, just something to keep it alive. He reads the play
He gives
very well.
He gives them a spark.
Yeah,
When that's what they're sorely lacking at the moment. They're lacking someone to give them that spark.
yeah. There doesn't seem to be a lot of drive in this Ballarat team over the last few weeks.
Here he
Good pass
goes.
from Bungay. Nice finish from Brooks,
Physical presence under
Yeah.
the basket.
and he stays within his lane. Goes where he should go. Doesn't try to do too much more. So last minute of the game,
That's
Camp, good drive.
there we go.
Bad
He
luck.
pulls
Was a
down the
good
rebound
drive.
again.
Renfrey, extravagant little crossover. Looks
Bad
for
luck.
Brooks. Wasn't on. There was too much defensive attention.
Might one more dunk to finish the
No.
night. No.
Bungay almost picked it off, but good finish from back. So shot clock is off. This one is effectively over. Not that. Yeah. Well, Brooks points to the charge circle, which he may have a point, to be fair, but Matt Spencer had really good position. He was camped, pop riveted to the floor. 14 seconds to play, 20-point game. Surely Keilor will just take the air out of the ball now and run this one to its rather inevitable conclusion. Yeah, that looks like what we're going to have. So, Keilor Thunder, 2 wins a fortnight ago. They've doubled that in impressive manner against Eltham last week. And tonight, the big 20-point win, 88-68, against a frankly lackluster Ballarat Miners.
You wonder what's gone wrong with the Miners, don't you? That is it a gelling situation? Is it something that is it the season getting too hard? What do you put it down to?
I honestly don't know. Ballarat have just fallen off a cliff in the last month. But on the flip side, you wonder what didn't go right earlier in the season for Keilor, because look, this
They're
is
good.
like, but on the basis of, let alone last week, but this performance, they're a strong side. They should be, like, as I said, I'm not sure I would rate them anything above, say, mid-table, but right now they're towards the bottom of the ladder. This is a side that is mid-table, or should be mid-table, and based on this performance, could potentially push the top 8.
Potentially, new club, new league, just trying to get a handle
Took some
on
time to get
actual
into the swing of
what's
NBL.
required. Who
Yeah.
you can get in, who you can't get in, and I think they're going to cause a lot of trouble for a lot of teams in the last 6 weeks of the
They
season.
could create some headaches for
But-
some teams higher up the table, couldn't they?
But right now, are the Miners going to cause that trouble? I can't see where they're going to.
Ballarat's got their own headaches. So, look, it's clearly going to be a Keilor player, but Greg, who do you think is the player of the game in this one?
I think you really can't go. Really, just can't go past Keon Dennis.
Yeah.
Really, can you? I mean, he's 12 of 13 from the field.
That's ridiculous.
That's incredible
Yeah.
shooting. He 8 rebounds. He 2 assists, 2 steals. He
And
did
this-
it all, didn't he? Really.
And this is a guy that averages 9 points on the
Yeah,
season.
and-
He's not someone that Ballarat may have necessarily game planned for. You game plan for Kidd, you game plan for React, you game plan for Lampkin. You don't expect Keon Dennis
I will
to kill
say-
you for 26 points off almost perfect
I
shooting.
will say Tyler Kidd gives us ones that aren't quite 6 foot a lot of thoughts that we can actually do something. But
Yeah, look,
I
he's
actually
a
really like
diminutive
it.
little man,
It's
but he's a good
interesting.
player.
He's shot only at 33%, but I thought he was better than that. I thought his performance was.
He hit big shots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought when he was there, I didn't think Lampkin had a huge bearing on the night. I
No.
don't, and you know, Shaq after the first quarter really didn't have. I thought Reece Lewis was very strong.
To be honest, in Lampkin's defence, you know, Ballarat is probably a side that is almost tailor-made to stop him. He's a 6'8" battering ram. Ballarat have the players to counter that. What they perhaps didn't expect was, you know, a 21-year-old 6'6" wing who doesn't shoot threes to step up and do what he did tonight. Like, just find the gaps, finish at the hoop, finish the traffic. Like, Keon Dennis, yeah, look, I tend to agree with you, Greg. In fact, not even tend to. I absolutely agree with you, Greg. Keon Dennis was the best player on the floor tonight. Yeah, we mentioned, I can't remember who it was. I think it might have been you mentioned how good Kidd was, and I thought, well, he's been great, but he's probably not in the top 3 for his club.
No.
Yeah, that's how good this performance was from Keilor tonight. It was complete. Good offense, good defense. They maintained the rage, maintained the energy all through the game. This was a fantastic performance.
They've given their entire roster a lot of minutes there tonight too. I think Nicholas Bannon's 3 minutes was probably the lowest that was played by anyone on the court there tonight. So that, you know, they're obviously building something. They're obviously not going to figure in playoffs this year, but they're a team that belongs at this level. Yeah, they've shown, and as a club, that they're ready to take the next step. Ballarat Miners have got a lot of work to do. They're suddenly they've lost to three teams outside the top 8 in the last 3 weeks now. And their one victory in that period was a last-second bucket against Dandenong. Yes. So realistically, it's
off a broken play.
It's 4 really poor performances in a row. It has to be said. Yeah. And you would now have to start to wonder where this team is going. This team, maybe the season's getting too tough for them. Maybe they haven't quite gelled. To be honest, I think JD Miller's the one who shows the most at the moment. But ever since Miller's come into the team, that's when the team started to struggle. So maybe there's something not quite right there. I don't know. I'm not the one to answer. We're not the ones to answer. But Miller's definitely the one who is putting the best foot forward at the moment. But perhaps he's being forced to do too much, or maybe he's being expected to do too much, and the others are sitting back and waiting for him to do the job. Who knows?
So to recap our evening here at Selkirk Stadium in Ballarat, the Miners win the women's game. A comfortable enough win by 10 points for a Miners side that are moving in the right direction up the table. In the men's game, an upset with the Keilor Thunder not just beating, but beating to a pulp. A really disappointing Ballarat Miners side. Brilliant game from the Thunder to close out the evening. And that will probably do us here from Selkirk Stadium. For Greg Glidden, my name's Jared Prosser. We will see you next week.